What is up, guys, gals, and you awesome means and gamers, different shapes and sizes. You could be big, you could be small, you could be round, you could be like a pencil. I'm not too. You could actually be a pencil. If you're a pencil and you're watching this, comment section below, let me know. I'd love to know what it feels like to be a pencil. But we are playing some Titanfall 2 today on the PlayStation 4 Pro. Would love to know your opinion of this game, what you think to the advanced version from what you've seen, what you may have actually played. And don't forget as well to drop a like if you enjoy this video and want to subscribe for more Titanfall 2 content in the future. But today I just went and bumped my leg into the table, which is not very fun. That's completely maybe made you jump if you are wearing headphones. But we are actually playing some Titanfall 2 and I am loving this game. I think it's really good. It's great to see the community start growing even more, because a lot of people were kind of scared. A lot of people were worried that this game would actually not catch on, because obviously it came out between Call of Duty Infinite Warfare and obviously as well Battlefield 1. I do actually have both of those games, and I've only played one match of Battlefield 1. I have not actually played anything further than that. I might have to bring some content out for that though, because I feel like it deserves to be covered, don't you think? Like, I did enjoy what I played, but I really like my futuristic games. As we all know, I love escapism. I love that kind of thing where it's not grounded, where it's not kind of like placed in an event that already happened in real life, where it's actually kind of like more imaginative, where it's creative, where it's actually showing brand new worlds and brand new lore and stories and narratives and characters and stuff like that. I don't know if anybody else is kind of like that. I would love to know all of your opinions when it comes to your preference in games, when it comes to story. Do you actually like it when it's more sci-fi, or do you prefer it where it's kind of more based in real world stuff? Because as we already know, like things like Call of Duty used to be kind of like very modern, or it used to be kind of based in World War I or II, or even like Vietnam and stuff. But then it kind of went into, as we know, like the futuristic sense, you know, kind of like showing things like I've always wanted another Battlefield 2-1-4-2, which was kind of the only futuristic Battlefield that they ever made. I would love another one of those games, but it feels like kind of like Call of Duty embraced that and went into the future, you know, to try and show those different types of narratives, those creativity kind of bursts that developers like to get. And so I would like to know, what do you think? Do you actually prefer the futuristic stuff, or do you actually like going back into the times of World War I or II, you know, or even like even past that, even say like we had Far Cry Primal where you were playing as caveman and stuff? Would you play like a Battlefield game where you are cavemen, where you're firing bows and arrows at each other? I mean, that would be kind of interesting, right? I don't think I'd want that as too many games, because you'd have to be really kind of creative with like the weapon designs, and I think you can only show so much when it comes to, say, throwing spears and sticks and hacking away each other with axes and stuff. I mean, you can only have so many different types of axe or stick, you know, or little rock that you crack over somebody's noggin. I'm not too sure. Now, you may notice as well that we are actually playing as Northstar today again as well, and I love playing as Northstar, one of my favorite Titans. You may notice here that I was able to lock down a enemy Titan who ended up just picking up his pilot, and actually kind of like using those tether mines, using that cluster bomb as well and everything to get the drop on that Titan. Remember that Titan has so much freaking health, so much amazing damage output, that you've got to be very tactical when taking down a Legion with a Northstar. Now, the main reason for that is obviously because it has so much health, and it has that Gatling gun, which has the power shot ability, and also has the ability to go long range as well as close range. It has that kind of like, what would you say, it has that kind of adaptability when it comes to the playing field when using that Titan, while, say, Northstar doesn't really have that. It has to stay really far back because of its lack of health. Like, say if it goes up against, like, a Ronin, like, a Ronin's gonna always smash a Northstar. There's just no way about it. Unless you're able to kind of, like, use your tether mines and use your cluster bombs, like, really cleverly, then that's the only way of doing it. Like, as you saw there, I was able to take down that Legion by being quite clever, being quite tactical, being able to evade and flank that Titan to actually get that kill, and even get the pilot kill. Because one thing to remember is that when the enemy is in Doom/emergency mode as the Titan, when they're in that kind of thing where they don't have any health left, they can be actually execution killed, you actually have some amazing damage potential to actually take down the enemy in one shot with a fully charged railgun shot. This is one thing to remember. A Northstar has so much freaking damage potential when it comes to finishing off enemy Titans. So sometimes it can be really useful to stay in the back with your teammates and let them actually whittle down the enemy and then finish them off in that Doom state so they can't eject. Something to be really cautious about, because you do actually have that potential to gain the kill for your team, which is quite cool, quite awesome. Because obviously one thing that a lot of people do is eject from their Titans, and you don't want it to happen because it means that the pilot can potentially survive, and you want to make sure that you can actually murder them. We're actually doing some really good spots on firing here with that railgun, though I do actually have some enemy pilots here trying to take me down. One thing to remember is that Northstar is very poor at micromanaging enemy pilots, because obviously you have to try and sniper shot a tiny little object with your railgun. It's a very kind of like single fire weapon. You have to wait for it to recharge again, and it can be a little bit annoying because obviously as well when you kind of rapid fire that weapon, it has like a lot of recall and stuff, so you have to kind of like rush at them and then kind of like punch them into the ground and turn them into bolognese sauce, which is obviously a really nice thing. I do love my spaghetti bolognese. What is your favorite kind of dish when it comes to turning out a pilot into, you know, a bit of pastry mush? I mean, I like some bolognese when it comes to... I'm not a cannibal. I'm not saying I'm a cannibal or anything like that. I'm going to try and stop this pilot before he gets into his Titan, though. And, I mean, lasagna. I mean, you could turn them into lasagna, I guess. It has to be some kind of meat mush, I guess. I'm not too sure. But you may notice that whenever someone drops down their Titan, I do like to try and prepare for some form of kind of like ambush in a sense. As you can see here, he is actually jumping into his Titan, but able to drop down that Tether Mine, that electric smoke, and then that cluster bomb and do some serious damage before running away. Like, look at that, that is under half health. I may be in emergency mode right now, but I was able to take down that Legion again with some amazing ambushage. And this is something you want to be constantly doing when playing this game, is using your Titan's strengths. Never try and play safe when it comes to a Titan, because remember, a Titan is a special weapon. You may only get it like so very often, but it's one of these things where you can do some amazing kind of like benefits for your team. Like, say if the enemy team has all their Titans, it's going to be really difficult to take them all down. Obviously, you're going to have to play as your pilot until you can actually get your own Titan in the field. But when you actually have that Titan, what can you do to stop the enemy team from actually benefiting from their Titans when they have just dropped down? You can do some really cool stuff. Like, say if you're playing as... say Tone doesn't really have that really good ambush ability. Like, obviously it can kind of drop down the personal shield, and so it can kind of like hold its ground for like holding down a choke point or something, but when it comes to an ambush, Northstar is really good at it. Or say like even like Legion by himself, or Scorch. There's some really cool things that you can do. Like say with Scorch, you can drop down those gas canisters, and then when that Titan pops out of its little shield dome, you can actually end up killing the Titan or the pilot with those gas grenades when you ignite them, stopping the pilot from getting into the Titan, or when the Titan actually ends up kind of like spawning outside of its shield dome. But then with Northstar, as you've seen, you can drop all of those different abilities. You can actually use all of your abilities, all of your assets in your tool set to actually do some serious damage, and it's really cool to see that. I think that's really, really awesome. You may notice as well, oh my goodness, I got shot in the back here. This is actually kind of annoying. This is one of the downsides I have to Titanfall 2 or kind of first-person shooter multiplayer like games, is that when you get shot from a guy who's just spawned, I feel like it's so unjustified. You know, when they're kind of like just popping out of their spawn area and then they kill you? So freaking annoys me, and it just feels so... It makes you lose like a part of your Titan meter, it makes you lose your kill streak, it makes you lose some of your performance, and obviously it actually contributes to your team potentially losing, and you don't want that. It just kind of sucks, you know. You just, and even like this mode, Bounty Hunter, this is where you have to win money, and when you die, you lose half your money, and the whole point of this game is to actually cash in the money. And so when you actually have an enemy player spawn behind you, oh, it just so makes me grumble. And it's really annoying because these maps are quite open. There are so many places for an enemy team to kind of like spawn in their own little area, and so to have them spawn behind you and just take that money, it grinds your gears, you know, as Peter Griffin once said. But never mind, we'll get over it. So right here we are actually going into some close range combat with an enemy Legion. We do actually have some backup here as well. We have a Ronin helping us, which is quite cool. And obviously you saw there with that phase lock ability and everything like that. It's quite nice actually, because having that combination of long range and close range with Northstar and Ronin is like a really cool combination, because it means that Ronin can, say, activate its sword block, and that means that it can actually block all those bullets, also do the phase dodge and everything like that. But at the same time as that, it means that your Northstar can actually be the one dishing out all the damage. So in a way you can actually have a decoy, but then also have like that damage dealer. So it's kind of cool that you can have those kind of things. I actually have an enemy Northstar in the back there, which is quite scary. So if the, oh my goodness, look, you can see the execution from far away here, which is really cool. I think Northstar, hands down, has one of the most badass executions. All the Titans have really cool executions, but that one is just really, really cool. Now, when it comes to actually flying around as well, one thing to note too, we're actually about to win this. I think we may have actually won this, which is fantastic. So you just have to take down the enemy team's dropship. I am actually getting pwned a little bit here, but trying to play very tactical with the close range kind of like combat, using those little trucks and things to my advantage. Oh, we got an enemy player who just phase locked into that dropship. Nearly got him able to take them down with that cluster missile, but sadly wasn't able to do that. But one thing to actually mention when it comes to things like the execution finishes and stuff like that is the flight core. When it comes to Northstar, I am actually doing a little bit of a teabag there, I do apologize. But with the long range kind of like flight core, as you saw me use a little bit earlier on, you can actually kind of like make that damage output even longer if you stay at range. This is something to do with Northstar, is always stay at range, and those missiles actually clump together when using the flight core ability to take things down a lot faster, a lot more kind of like manageable, I guess you could say, more efficiently, because Northstar is all about long range, and if you fire its flight core at close range, it just does not work, it just works against you. But we have actually gone past this video, and so I'm going to have to end this one here, but thank you so much everyone coming towards this video. Let me know in the comments below what you think to Titanfall, what you thought to my gameplay, what you thought to the game in general, what you think to the PlayStation 4 Pro version. Remember, I am actually playing Titanfall 2 on the PlayStation 4 Pro, so would love to know all of your opinions. But it has been me, Josh, again, Proxy, bringing you some Titanfall 2, and I will see you all next time. Remember to drop a like if you enjoyed this video, and why not subscribe for more Titanfall 2 content in the future. But I'll see you all next time. Ciao for now.